I want to sort of talk and break down money. So a lot of us look at money and see it as a very bad object because we say it's the root of all evil. But in reality, it's not the money that's what's evil. That's why it's called the root of all evil. It's what we put the money towards. So for instance, if you have bad energy, and what I mean by bad energy is you're doing bad things towards someone, or just hurtful, hateful, fearful energy, then what ends up happening is you're putting that into the world, you're putting your money into that, and you're amplifying it. So if we think every single time we spend our money as in, do I want to amplify this energy, then you'll be able to slowly and slowly create the world that you want to see. If you don't realize your energy is your if you don't realize your money is your energy, which is your power, then you're going to make poor choices. And a lot of people, to be honest, they aren't consciously aware of how they're spending their money or what they're putting it towards. And I think it's because we go way too fast in life. We got to slow it down, and we're very used to the marketing, or as I like to say, manipulation of buy, you need to get this, you need to get that. But in reality, we can live with a small amount of things and be completely fine. We need to realize that we're blessed when we have less because we're grateful for everything and we're paying attention to everything, whereas when we have a lot of stuff, you can't pay attention to a lot of stuff. You're not giving it all of your energy, all of your love, all of your time. And you shouldn't. It's an inanimate object. So we need to realize and be consciously aware of where we're putting our money. If we're not aware of where we put our money, the next thing you know, you're buying from someone who's actually making laws against you. And sometimes, unfortunately, that we do that accidental. But this is where we want to be more consciously aware of where we put our money. It all starts with a mental mind state. You have to, instead of thinking oh, I'm going with the flow, and that's not a bad thing, but in terms of going with the flow of not thinking for yourself, or just saying, hey, this is the next trend, or I need to keep up with the Joneses, instead take a step back and you think to yourself, is this what I want to see be built into the world? Who is my money going towards? What are they putting their R&D, their research and development, to continue putting into the world? If they're going to put something bad into the world, then you don't want to put your money towards that. And sometimes maybe you do have to take the hit, because sometimes there are times where you don't want to put your money to someone who's bad, but you really have no choice. Then you just have to make sure, okay, I knowingly know I'm putting my money towards this. Then you have to take a step back and say, well, what are the things that I can do to protect myself against that? So let's say you go to a specific place that they campaign against your rights. Then you knowingly giving money to them, or your energy to them to fight you or to go against you and debate, you have to be ready for that and understand, okay, well, I'm going to have to put petitions in place. I'm going to have to do X, Y, and Z. And that sometimes is, unfortunately, the hard case, because we're all connected to each other, whether we like it or not. And that's why when we put our money into something, it all moves. So the thing that a lot of people don't realize is, as a community, we decide what we want the next thing to be. We decide the world that we want built. And to be honest, we decided the world that we have now. Even if it's terrible, even if it's horrible, we decided to do that. And a lot of people will say, or as I like to say sometimes, play the victim card and say, no, I didn't. I never asked for this. People are making laws that I didn't want in place. And that is true. There are some times where that happens. But a lot of times we do put our money towards things that are hurting us, that we don't realize is against us, because we don't want to take our time to put our energy, unless our energies are money, into something that we want built, that we want seen in the world. So if you are an advocate for, I don't know, eating healthy, but you put your money towards buying unhealthy things or buying products that harm you, then you're not actually advocating with your energy and with your money and with your time. And that's why it's also very important, just not to jump on the bandwagon with things. Because what if the bandwagon is going off a cliff? You're like, yay, I'm gonna go off the cliff with them. I'm gonna put all my energy into this, and it's just gonna go off the cliff. No, honey. We don't do that. We take smart risks, which essentially means we look at what is there with all of our subjective knowledge, and we determine what is the risk factor. Should we be buying this? Is this good? And yeah, that's a lot to think about, but to be honest, that's how serious it is. When you spend your money, you are providing your money to someone to build the world. It's a big deal. We don't realize we have so much power in our pockets, in our hands. And the more and more money you get, and the better you get with money, and the more money you save, the more influence you can have on what you want to see in the world. And a lot of people don't realize, like, we can make a difference together. That's actually one of the main reasons why we are in the problem we're in, is what happens is, as society, you have supply and demand. And if as a majority, we're demanding something, the businesses are gonna supply it. Even if it's something horrible, we're asking for it and someone is gonna make $1 out of it. And yes, maybe ethically that person shouldn't be making the $1 out of it, but they are regardless, because that's what business is. It's about making money. So you have to remember, it's very important to understand where your money goes towards, what you're putting it into. Because if you want to see something build, but you're not putting your money towards it, you're sort of playing yourself in a way. A lot of people say or explain, like, well, what if I don't have a lot of money? And I say, cool, do you have time? And sometimes people don't have time or money. And to be honest, sometimes it's because they put themselves in a bad situation with poor decision making, or they're in an environment that they did not ask for, so they have to take care of other people, or they themselves are incapable of taking care of themselves 100%, which is completely fine. There are like lots of different things. Everyone has their situation, so I'm not going to judge where you're at just because something in life is tough, okay? Like, instead, if you have like 5 minutes of time and you can learn about something new, then you can start to grow in the direction you want to grow in. But if you spend a lot of time on social media and stuff and you don't go in the direction you want to grow in, then you'll never sort of get there. It's always about where you put your energy. Where you put your energy equals your time, your money, things sort of like that. But here we're going to explain majority of like money and time, so you know how to get to the next thing. So it even could be something that's $5. So if you want to help out, there's things you can go buy that are literally $5, and it can help the ecosystem because it's reusable. You're not wasting trash. You're not just throwing it away and saying, oh, whew, whew. And to be honest, like, I can provide all the data below and explain to you, like, why is it bad? What's all the analytics? Blah, 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 blah. Like, I can do that. It's nothing new. If you want those details, I'll provide them all below. It'll be a good, debate.